Hi, I'm Sebastien Gailleton, Product Manager for StormAudio. I would like to introduce you our product range from StormAudio, being immersive processor, integrated immersive processor and amplifiers. At this year's High End Show, we are introducing three major features to our product range, which is already quite full-featured. I'd like to briefly describe the product range. It's actually right now 4 processors, 1 immersive integrated processor, and 3 amplifiers. That covers a big demand right now in big installations of the home cinema systems. At this year's show, we introduced 3 features that are the room calibration being powered by Dirac, which is an important step to us because we can manage up to 32 channels calibration for multiple theaters, because our processor is managing right now a good number of theaters. You can have different installations. And that's the main feature, the Dirac one. The second feature we are introducing at this year's show is the StormAudio. StormAudio is the binauralizer that allows you to take the immersive experience not from the speaker point of view, but from an headphone. So you get all your channels that are decoded in the processor, up to 16 channels, and you can play them in an headphone. You keep the experience of the immersive sound. So you will feel when it comes from the front and above or going to the back, you will get that immersive impression in a standard high-quality headphone. This is the second major feature that we are introducing this year at the High End Show. The third one, which is exhibiting here with our partner Ascendo at this show, which is the AVB technology. Their system speakers are working on audio over IP, which is a very interesting technology in terms of delivering the audio in a standard network that supports the AVB stack. And this technology is now added to our processor thanks to the integration of a beautiful card like here that will deliver in a single connection, Ethernet cable, the complete 32 channels to the speakers that are connected to the network. This is the third major feature that we introduced this year's show. Let me talk about the StormAudio technology that we have integrated into our ISP and IISP product range. The StormAudio technology is based on the binaural sound. We have used the research that has been made in the binaural sound to understand the principle of getting the 3D dimension of the sound, but from a headphone. So the binaural sound takes into account the fact that we have a very specific perception of the sound based on the ear location on the head and the head shape. So this is explained by the interaural level distance, around 15 to 18 centimeters, but also the interaural delay that will happen when you have a sound coming from somewhere in the space. There will be a difference in time for reaching the ear between the left and the right. And the brain uses these 2 properties to understand the location of the sound. But it also uses not only these 2 properties, but an additional one, which is the spectral variations. The ear has a very specific shape, and this shape will make that if the sound comes from above, from the back, or from the front of you, the frequency response that the ear perceives is different. The brain uses all these different parameters to clearly perceive where the sound is coming from. This analysis has allowed us to, let's say, modelize the binaural sound. Without going into too many details, because this is quite deep research and I'm not even capable to explain the full details, I would like just to say that the principle is that we have modelized how the sound is perceived by the brain, and this is so-called the head-related transfer function. This HRTF allows us to, when a signal is available, if you pass this signal through these HRTF filters, this sound, the signal, will then look like the brain is perceiving it. And it includes what the head is actually doing to that sound. And this is what makes us feel that the sound is coming from here or there. So we have defined a lot of HRTF that allows us to do so. The HRTF are filters. If you take 2 signals, you have one signal coming from one location, you pass them to 2 different filters corresponding to the 2 ears. You will be able if you have a difference in these filters, the brain will perceive this as coming from somewhere different. All these elements and analysis, including the HRTF and how the ear and the brain works together to give us this 3D sensation. We have created a binaural engine called StormAudio, which is represented here in this diagram. And the interesting thing about the StormAudio technology is that it's not only recreating something immersive from a standard stereo, but it takes the capabilities of the processor that is actually an immersive processor. We are decoding the Dolby Atmos, DTS-X, and Auro 3D up to their best capability, being 7.1.6, 7.1.4, or 13.1. And those discrete channels for which we know the elevation and azimuth, that means the coordinates in space, we put those informations into our binaural engine, and this will, in the end, provide in 2 channels an impression when you listen into headphones, an impression of, oh, it's coming from somewhere in the space. And this is really the thing about the StormAudio, is that it can make use of these discrete channels that have been created by the mixers, the movie mixers, to get this sensation not only with speakers, but just with an headphone. It works very well with high quality headphone. Ideally, to make it even better, we should kind of analyze the shape of each here to really, let's say, adjust the HRTF according to each head of the listeners. But I would say this is for the future. But for now, the technology has been done such a way that with any high quality headphone, it works perfectly. So I will now present you the Dirac integration that we made on our ISP and IISP products. Here at the High End Show, we are introducing this feature, which is a very important room calibration correction that is required for any good processors that you want to install in any installation these days. So Dirac is quite famous, and we made this integration with even more improvements to it. Right now, we are capable to support Dirac with 32 channels in multiple theaters, and you can create as many presets as you wish for each theater that you have defined in our ISP. The system consists of an integrator kit that we are going to sell to our distributor that includes a microphone, 2 stands, one to be put on the seats and one to be put on the floor, and few cables, an extension cable being USB. The system works in the following way. We are connecting the microphone to our laptop, and the laptop will have the Dirac Live tool calibration system to work, and the whole process is run from the laptop. Dirac consists of 9 microphone positions with measurements for each speaker, and that gives a very accurate analysis of the room frequency response. This is then used using a target curve to provide a very good correction. The target curve will then be used to redefine mixed phase filter after calculations. And once all these filters have been calculated, the complete package is then sent to the processor to create a Dirac EQ preset that is then used for the theater that you have defined. And it is possible with our system to make different sets of measurements in a way that you can have either a narrow spot with quite very precise listening interpretation in that area, or you can have a wider area if you are considering the complete auditorium where you have different rows and more seats. This is very important for the end user to be able to, in case he's listening to music, being alone in the room, to have the best experience from this specific seat. As well, it is important when you are with more people to go into something that is wider, and then you want the precision to be spread all over the seats. So this is possible, and that can be made via the profiles that you will create for each theater. Not only theaters, but also the audio zones that you can create with our ISP and IISP. Thank you very much. This was Sebastien Gailleton, Product Manager at Auro Technologies, and we welcome you on the website to visualize all the beautiful features that we have in our processors.